looking at, you know. Where are you going?
Sega Mega Drive. Got one? Now you can get Mega CD. Clunk, click, take a trip on 500 megabytes. Whoa!
Time for some more retro bollocks. Look at that. I've nearly done the whole bottle. In fact, that's it, innit? That is it. We've done it. We've done the Baileys. It's a nice big glass full. So right, time for some retro bollocks then. We all know Super Mario Brothers, but back in the day, do you remember the Super Mario Sonic rivalry? That was funny. Funny when we were kids, because a lot of my mates had Nintendo, I was the Sega boy. But they'd say, no, Mario's miles better. Mario's miles better than Mario and Sonic. There's no comparison between Mario and Sonic. Mario's a fat Italian with a moustache, and his skinny Italian brother with a moustache. They're just two Italian guys. Mario's a fat Italian with a tash. Sonic is a cool hedgehog with spikes that can run really fast. There were never any debate there. Sonic was always far cooler than Mario. It doesn't matter, you know, yeah, you're a Nintendo fan, I get it. You know, back in the day, you're a Nintendo fan. Yeah, they weren't cool. Sonic were cool. Yeah, there were always that argument, you know, in playground. No, Mario's better, Super Mario. No, it was just loyalty between Nintendo players and Sega players. But when it comes to Mario, my first sort of experience, obviously we all played Super Mario Brothers, but I remember the Mario watches. Do you remember the Mario watches? Fucking hell. Mario, hours and hours just trying to get to Princess on that. We'd play it, me and my mates at school, in playground, we'd all have us Mario watches and we'd be playing on dinner break. Luke would always instantly do it, beat the beat the clock and get to Princess, and we're all like, whoa, he's done. Look, I told you I can do it. Then Mark would follow, but I could never do it. I was always like, oh, nearly, and then I'd always fail. But then one time I did it at home, and I went to school. And I went, I did it. No, you didn't. I said, I did. I swear I did it. Nah, you didn't. And I could never do it again. But then after a while, yeah, we became pros at the Mario watch. But they're quite expensive now, Super Mario watches, and I wish I still had mine. When it comes to Mario, there's so many Mario games. But for me, the best one is just your standard Super Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo. Because it's got them all, look. Mario 2, Mario 3. It's got all these lost levels, the Game Boy ones. But yeah, you can go back and play the classics. Yeah, Super Mario All-Stars for me is probably the best one. There's loads of, how can you pick a best Mario? It's hard to, isn't it, really? Mario 64, that were another one that stuck in my head. That one went all 3D. But now the original Mario's there. You've got them all in All Stars. So shooting off there with the first one, we've got Mario All Stars. It's quality. Compared to Sonic, he was just a fat Italian with a tash. Anyway, look, we've got some new arrivals. Some new arrivals. Come every day. Sometimes I forget what I bought, but I know what this is. Classic. Fade to Black. Fade to Black. You remember Fade to Black? This was like the long-awaited sequel to Flashback, you know, in the previous episode. Flashback were the obviously original there with Conrad, and then we've got here, look, the sequel to it on the PS1. Spend an eternity rotting in a prison cell, or grab a gun and fight your way out, destroying the Morph Empire on your way. But I remember playing it and thinking, fucking hell, it's hard. I remember it a really hard game. Look at that, it's just every single detail and map, you know, of each department at prison. So detailed game, a lot of stealth involved. And I thought, you know, I'm going to revisit it. Fade to Black. Needs revisiting, doesn't it? Right. Oh, it's not what I thought. It's another PlayStation. Surprising myself today. G Police. Do you remember G Police? remember playing this game and it sort of blew me away back in the day. G-Police, it's just very futuristic, you know, players, police force, so everything's all in good condition. Look at that. Always got to smell them, haven't you? Always got to smell the instructions. I'm not sure whether this is going to hold out anymore. It's one of those where, you know, it was quality at the time, but we'll see if it is still as impressive as it was back when I played it in 1997. 1997! What a year that was. Take to the skies in your heavily armoured Havoc gunship, fly 35 formidable missions through the corrupt cities of Callisto and earn yourself some serious adulation in this incredible 3D action shooter. I think it's worth a visit, and that's why I bought it. £5 spent. Can't go wrong, can you? You can't mention retro without the classics Final Fantasy series. I mean, there's so many Final Fantasy games, but for me, Final Fantasy 7, you know, it's a cult classic. The original Final Fantasy, it's just a masterpiece. But even like the remake of it, you know, on PS4, that's quality. Got the deluxe edition there. You know, it sort of tunes in perfectly with the nostalgia of the first one. But yeah, for some reason, it's Final Fantasy 3. That's another quality one. And Final Fantasy 7 for me always sort of stuck with me and were just quality games. But there's one more Final Fantasy game that doesn't seem to get much credit, and it is a classic, and that is on the Game Boy Advanced, Final Fantasy Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. This game is brilliant. You know, it's so addictive. You know, it's just an addictive battle style, and the tactics behind it, and the battle sequences. You know, it's classic Final Fantasy, but the story's great in it as well. But yeah, it doesn't seem to get the credit it deserves. It's not. You know, whenever people do, you know, Final Fantasy Countdown, the greatest games, Tactics never seems to make it, which is strange because it's a classic. Classic. Yeah, so highly recommend that one. Final Fantasy Tactics. Let's have a little look in the retro cabinet. There was another one I wanted to chat about, Super Nintendo, because I'm just going through some of these games here. Look, Bomberman series, Bomberman, Super Bomberman 2. Super Bomberman as like a little puzzly sort of, you know, game. It's just brilliant, isn't it? I like how you fight the bosses as well. You know, you have a little boss to fight and stuff. But multiplayer on this were good as well back in the day when you know, play with your mates and stuff. But I've only got Super Bomberman 2. I ain't got the first one. I think there's a third one, isn't there? I ain't got any of the others, but this is another really addictive game, isn't it? When you start playing Bomberman, you know it's going to go on for several hours, because that's what Bomberman does to you. It's, you know, it's up there with, like that recent one I bought, a Krusty Super Funhouse. I was playing that yesterday. I thought, I want to play a Super Funhouse. Sat down, I thought, I'll just have 10 minutes on it. You know, look like 2 hours or something, just playing Krusty Super Funhouse. Because I like that puzzle type sort of game, but with this it's more, you know, sort of tactical, sort of making sure you don't blow yourself up, basically. Bomberman's a classic, isn't it? The sprites, the characters and stuff, and Bomberman, it's just very, very anime. Those Bombermen are back. Get ready for the sequel in the most addictive game of 1993. Of 1993 that came out. And then it shows you all the features. Look, many new enemies, including Magnet Bomberman, Crazy Bomberman, and Pretty Bomber Woman. But boy, is she mean. Boy, is she mean. Yeah, sudden death, battle modes, I remember that. Yeah, but Bomberman's, it's a must-have, isn't it? It's a must-have. Gotta have Bomberman in your collection. Gotta have Bomberman.